tried to keep the Liverpool talk to a minimum this week. But it's a very, very exciting time on the Mercy side. Munich saw a big Champions League football match this past week.
Yeah.
By the way, Bayern Munich 1-0 over Benfica.
Okay.
A late, I think it was, Musiala scored late to get Bayern a win. Badly needed win in the Champions League. They had just gotten
badly.
They had gotten blitzed by Barcelona in their previous match. So they got the 3 points against Benfica, which had they not would have been a big problem. Talent on the pitch for that match.
It would have been horrific if they didn't win that game.
Yes, it would have been.
Yeah.
Oh, believe me,
win the match.
Yes.
I watched Ted Lasso.
The talent on the pitch for that match, a heck of a lot better than the talent you're going to see in Munich on Sunday when the Giants take on the Panthers. This is another one of the Super 6 games sponsored by DraftKings. What will the outcome of this game will be? New York winning by 6 points or more, or Carolina winning. I will be watching none of this game. I will be rooting for Carolina to win this game because I have a giant alt win total under 5.5. So the more games the Giants lose, the better.
I need
Bryce Young. Bryce Young
win.
pissed me off last week because he actually was okay.
Yeah,
and they knocked me out of Survivor with the Saints. So normally I would not be rooting for the Panthers to win, but now I'm just looking out for my wallet and hoping that the Giants are pinned with the loss. So I will be waking up and I'll be looking at the final score, and hopefully Carolina will have won. I got nothing for you.
I have Giants under 6.5, but I also have Panthers fewest wins in the NFL, so I can afford a Giants win.
Yeah, see, I'm vice versa here.
The Panthers,
what a game!
So I do some every now and then. I do some things with the Panthers, and they were asking me like, do you drink beer? And I was like, no. They're like, oh, well, we need someone to go over to Munich, to Germany, essentially during Oktoberfest. And like hanging out with NFL fans.
And you didn't lie?
I'm not sure I was eligible for that. I think they sent Ryan Khalil, which makes more sense considering he's like a Panther legend. I'm just Geoff Schwartz.
No, don't sell yourself short. You're not just Geoff Schwartz.
But they basically were like, we're looking for someone. I think we're going to send Ryan. I don't even know who ended up going. I think Jonathan Stewart ended up going, actually. And they're like, we're going to send someone over there.
Oregon Duck legend, Jonathan Stewart.
Oregon Duck legend, Jonathan Stewart. So, yeah, that's what I have in this game. They're going to drink a lot of beer in Germany to have to watch the Panthers and Giants play. My also favorite thing about international games, Bear, is when they show the crowd the random NFL jerseys that are in the stands. like you're going to see a Commanders jersey, a Steelers jersey.
There'll be Tom Brady jersey still in there.
It just makes no sense. But what does make sense, my fade of the week, Bear, here's what we're going to do. Niners minus 3.5 for the first half at Tampa Bay. We mentioned this earlier, fading Tampa Bay. They played 83 snaps on defense. And not only 83 snaps, they're 83 physical snaps. If you watch any of that game, everyone on defense, Kansas City, which makes no sense why the Bucs didn't go for it, and the Bucs defense were exhausted. They were so tired. Now it's a short week, and you're playing a Niners team off a bye who wants to do the same thing to you, run the football. I think it's just a bad spot for Tampa Bay. You sort of gave it all you had on Monday night and still lost, and part of that is your coach's decision to not go for 2. I wonder about the morale, losing 2 straight games, sort of in this tough stretch, Falcons, Chiefs, 49ers. I think it's a really bad spot. So not the best number you could have gotten. It's Thursday. We have to record when we record. But Niners minus 3.5 here for the first half.
Right. It is what it is, unfortunately.
Yes.
We can't create numbers out of the blue that don't exist, and we won't. My best bet presented by DraftKings.
Well, to be fair, some people do create wins and losses.
This is true.
Other odds.
This is true.
That don't actually exist. We don't do that here.
It's very difficult to interpret a 2-point conversion and a touchdown.
It is, yeah.
It could be very, very confusing.
It's easy to do that when you don't actually wager on the games. We wager on the games, so we know whether or not you actually win or lose.
We do.
Sorry.
I didn't bet a ton in the NFL last week. I actually didn't have really anything. I was at my nephew's birthday party, so I was glad I really didn't have anything.
I had a lot on Seattle. I was very upset at Geno Smith.
That was a bad job.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Bad job.
But you're going to do a good job for your best bet, though.
I am. Best bets presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. With all due respect, John Murray, what you were talking about in the gambling group chat, are people really doing this with the Jets again?
Yes.
This team has already lost to the Patriots. They've already lost to the Broncos. They should have lost to the god-awful Titans The first half last Thursday night was an absolutely horrific display of football. Only the fact that the Texans' offensive line resembled like a Division II college football team and an all-world performance by Garrett Wilson bailed the Jets out. This is still a poorly coached, mediocre football team that now is going to have to deal with a mobile quarterback in Kyler Murray, a great receiver in Marvin Harrison Jr., and now the line has moved my way. When I was looking at this last night, Cardinals and Jets were a pick 'em. Now the Jets are favored -1. My best bet, Cardinals getting a point at home. I've also played some Cardinals, as we talked about in the gambling group chat. You can play some Jonathan Gannon, coach of the year, maybe the Cardinals to win the division as well. Because if you look, Arizona's got 2 games left with Seattle, who's totally in the tank after what happened last week. They got the Jets, Patriots, Panthers left in the schedule. And then the final game of the year is with the Niners in Glendale, and maybe we'll see what that game means and what that game doesn't mean. But yeah, love the Cardinals this week at the point.
This is sort of an anti-Jets wager, obviously. They're one of those teams, the Browns are sort of this way too, where like the roster is good, but the results aren't there.
Yep.
But because of the things they sort of can do well, sharps love them. That makes like they just sort of are always on them.
Yep.
John mentioned, going for the Jets for the 11th straight week in a row. Like in theory, on paper, they can win every game, but they don't.
Right.
And the funny thing is, Arizona, what do they do good? I don't know what they do good. Like they just sort of are there in every game. Kyler Murray's really good.
I think they are extremely well coached, and their players that they have
a fun run game too. Yeah.
Buy into the scheme.
Yeah. All right. My best bet presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm kind of going against a couple trends here, Bear, but I'm taking the Commanders -3 against the Steelers in this spot. The Steelers, as I mentioned earlier, have not played offense like this, not played a quarterback like this. And the more film you get on Russell Wilson, I think the better you're going to play defensively against this team. They do a couple things really well, but if you take those away, and I think Marshawn Lattimore being added to this defense will change what the Commanders defense can be. I know Tomlin's off a bye, you're getting points on the road, like all these things. I was looking at the bet slips, which is the bet totals, which is really not a way to wager all games, Bear. No. But a lot of people in Pittsburgh, like the public's on Pittsburgh this weekend.
Steelers,
as well.
Tomlin's dog is going to be the. So we're talking about John.
I'll take Washington -3 here. Give me Jay and Daz. I don't think I've wagered one time on Washington this season. I might have missed the boat on it, but we're doing it this week.
Hopefully, it's one of those teams. Like if you're not there for the baptism, you don't want to be there for the funeral. That's the rule. But we'll see what happens. We could be right with the Steelers. One other thing that I did potentially look at for a best bet in a game that we didn't talk about. Shockingly, we did not talk about Titans Chargers during the gambling group chat.
What teams are those?
Team from Tennessee and the team that used to be in San Diego that's now in LA. I think they were in LA. So that I'd be looking.
Why should the team in LA be favored by 7.5 over anybody?
Yeah, but that's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a team total
under
for the Titans.
Under.
You look at the 3 games that the Chargers have played so far this year. They've allowed 10, 17, and 8. Haven't allowed more than 20.
Defense is good.
And this year, defense plays well. And they just play that running game, drain clock.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of bully ball. And the Titans quarterback situation is one of many, many, many awful quarterback situations in the league. How are they scoring points?
I don't know why we wager on stuff. I had J.K. Dobbins last week under Bear, and he had like 30 yards through the first 55 minutes of the game and then ended up with like 60 yards on the final drive of the game.
Pound, run.
So frustrating. Oh.
It is, yeah. This is by far the worst possible investment you can make with your money is the NFL with a lot. That's why looking at some of like the derivative stuff is probably the way to go as opposed to straight games. But we'll see. Got a couple of things potentially we like this week, and hopefully we'll catch some tickets for you. Bear Bets full episodes drop twice a week right here on the Bear Bets YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe to stay ahead of the odds, and let's celebrate all of our wins together.